Welcome back. Thank you for following us in this journey through the WWF New Species Report. We are now at part 4 in this series. In this part, traveling through the countries in the Mekong River region, we are now going to the country of Myanmar. Continue to watch to learn about the new species discovered. We are now visiting the country of Myanmar. 15 new species, 14 endemic. Pit vipers are venomous snakes found across much of Asia and the Americas. The pit in the name refers to the external openings on either side of the head that contain a pair of hypersensitive infrared detectors, which help the snakes find their warm-blooded prey. One of the most widespread Asian pit vipers is Trimeresurus albolabris, a bright green snake which is found from Nepal to Indonesia. But what was once thought to be a single species is now known to be a complex of different branches, or lineages, and recent research has revealed a new distinct species found in central and southern Myanmar. Researchers examined 25 specimens that had previously been collected from various sites in Mandalay, Sagaing, Magwe, Bago, Chin, and Shan states, ranging from near sea level to elevations of over 1,700 meters. They compared them to other species in the Trimeresurus albolabris complex, looking at 45 morphological characteristics in minute detail. The process includes counting scales and measuring body parts to the nearest tenth of a millimeter. Backed up by DNA testing, they concluded that these constitute a new species, Trimeresurus uetzi. And here it is, beautiful! Lead author Gernot Vogel highlights the importance of Natural History Museum collections in describing Trimeresurus uetzi and many other new species. These collections are the memory of life on our planet, he says. Some specimens I examine are more than 200 years old and still tell us news about their biology and distribution. Further studies will be needed to determine the full distribution of the species. Little is known of its behavior, diet and reproductive habits, or its conservation status. Pit viper venom can be fatal to humans, but is also used in medical treatments, so better scientific understanding of the different species has potential to be life-saving. Here is the Physoschistura Mango, endemic to Myanmar. This miniature loach first appeared in the international aquarium trade in 2006. It's become popular among aquarium hobbyists and is commonly known as the Rosy Loach for its bright color. But until last year, it hadn't been described scientifically. It also wasn't clear where it fitted into the complex family tree of Nemochilidae, or stone loaches, a family which currently includes around 800 species, though new discoveries are being made all the time, especially in Southeast Asia. With the largest recorded specimen measuring just 23.4 millimeters in length, less than the diameter of a bottle cap, the Rosy Loach is one of the smallest fish in the stone loach family. Because of its tiny size, researchers used digital images to take measurements and used an electron microscope to observe the mouth parts and the pectoral fin. These observations, coupled with DNA analysis, revealed the Rosy Loach to be a new species belonging to the Physoschistura genus, named Physoschistura Mango because its orangey-yellow color resembles the flesh of a mango. Using scanning electron microscopy, we were able to observe rather impressive conical tubercles on the barbels, or sensory structures, around the mouth of one mature male, said Kevin Conway, lead author on the discovery. Tubercles, which are made of keratin, are commonly found on other body surfaces in carp-like fishes, but are not commonly encountered on the barbels. To the best of our knowledge, the tiny male Rosy Loach is the first example of a loach with tubercles on its barbels. The question is, why are they there? Physoschistura Mango has been found in springs near Hopong in Shan State, Myanmar. Not much is known about its distribution or biology in the wild. In aquariums, individuals swim actively in the lower part of the water column, between short periods of rest on the substrate, whereas most stone loaches dwell on the substrate. Mature males often chase each other and spar aggressively, nipping each other's body and fins. Rosy loaches have successfully spawned and reared young within aquariums, and we can expect to find out more about their courtship and reproduction in aquarium conditions as their popularity grows. Begonia kayinensis, endemic to Myanmar. More than 2,100 species of begonia have been recorded from tropical and subtropical regions worldwide, including 92 species from Myanmar. But relatively little is known about the flora of the limestone hills and caves of southern Myanmar, and new species like this one continue to be discovered. It's an attractive plant with purpley-red, bolate blistered leaves and an inflorescence, flowering stem arising from the top of the stem with the leaf, bearing small pink and white flowers. The research team began investigating this unique species after receiving a specimen from a local plant hunter. To find out more, they called on the assistance of Native Species Conservation and Identification, NSCI, a citizenship science initiative dedicated to documenting and conserving Myanmar's biodiversity. The discovery of this new species highlights the critical role of citizen science and collaborative efforts in documenting the biodiversity of unexplored areas in Myanmar, says lead researcher Mia Bon Ma. In a time when conducting floristic exploration across the country is increasingly challenging, the contributions of local communities and citizen scientists have been invaluable. This work is a testament to the power of collaborative efforts in preserving our biodiversity, even amidst adversity. So far, the species is only known from 3 localities in Kayin State, close to popular tourist spots. While it is abundant in these areas, it could become threatened in the near future. Popular with begonia enthusiasts, it is sold as an ornamental plant and is also used as a sour vegetable by some local people. Overharvesting could put the species at risk, so monitoring and conservation efforts are needed to ensure its long-term survival. We now travel to the land of Thailand. It is not only tourists that are bustling in this country, but also a multitude of species, many that we have just recently discovered. Thailand, 80 new species discovered, 71 endemic. It is not only tourists, pristine beaches, parties and drinks, and amazing views that are dazzling in Thailand. There are also numerous new species that have been discovered. Hipposideros kinstonae, also found in Malaysia. Although it's found from Thailand to Borneo, this leaf-nosed bat had flown under the radar until recently. It was discovered during fieldwork between 2014 and 2021 and has been documented at 2 sites in peninsular Thailand, 1 in peninsular Malaysia and 2 in Sabah, Borneo. It's a small bat with a 35.3 to 42.6 millimeter forearm length and weighing between 4.9 and 7 grams. It has dark brown fur with some longer white hairs on its back and orangey brown fur on its front. It can be easily distinguished from related species by the shape of its nose leaf. DNA analysis confirmed that Hipposideros kinstonae is clearly a separate species. There were small genetic variations between the Borneo and mainland populations. The Borneo population also uses a slightly higher frequency in its echolocation calls. Published DNA sequences from bats found on Palawan in the Philippines are genetically very close to those from Borneo. The roosting sites of the species are not known, but several individuals in Sabah were caught near large limestone caves. Elsewhere, individuals were caught far from any known caves and may roost in tree hollows. The loss of forest and limestone karst habitat presents a potential threat. Now we will leave this bat and we will take a look at a snake. Here we have the Trimeresurus ciliaris, also likely found in Malaysia, recorded for the first time in the limestone formations of Tha Leban National Park in southern Thailand. This new species of snake has been named the limestone eyelash pit viper, in reference to the characteristic scales above its eyes that resemble eyelashes or eyebrows. It's a small, colorful snake with an emerald green head and many red scales. Like its nearest relatives, it's likely to be venomous, although more research is needed to analyze its toxicity. Currently, Trimeresurus ciliaris is known only from a narrow limestone area in the Nakawan Range, spanning the border of Thailand and Malaysia, though it's likely that it also inhabits the northernmost part of Perlis state of peninsular Malaysia. Little is known about its behavior in the wild, though in captivity it eats geckos and frogs. The Asian pit viper genus Trimeresurus is a complex one, with new species being described every year. This latest discovery brings the number of Trimeresurus species to 46, though many look very similar and are hard to tell apart in the wild. To uncover the differences in these so-called cryptic species, researchers carry out intricate comparisons of different aspects of their morphology. Advances in molecular testing have also helped reveal divergences in their genetic makeup, which are increasing our understanding of how different species have evolved, but also highlighting the gaps in our knowledge that still remain. Let's dive into the Mekong River and look at Garra Panitvongi, also found in Myanmar. The red-tailed garra, a small algae-eating fish in the carp family, is found in aquariums all over the world. But it wasn't found in any scientific records until researchers came across several individuals while doing fieldwork on the Kassat River on the Thailand-Myanmar border. We discovered the red-tailed garra in a remote forested area in Thailand, about 4 hours down a gravel and mud road from the nearest town, says Dr. Larry Page, curator of ichthyology at the Florida Museum of Natural History. We recognized the fish from images in the aquarium trade and knew it had not been scientifically described. So we took tissue samples for DNA analyses and preserved the 2 individuals we were able to capture and used them to describe and name the species. Additional specimens used in the description were provided from Myanmar by Dr. Non Panitvong, a Thai colleague, and we named the species Garra Panitvongi in recognition of his assistance. Given its popularity in the aquarium trade, the research team had assumed that the red-tailed garra would be found widely, but it turns out to be confined to the upper reaches of the Itaran River Basin in southeastern Myanmar and western Thailand. The red-tailed garra is the 6th species of garra known in the Salween River Basin. It can be easily distinguished from its nearest relatives by its unique elongated snout and its bright red caudal peduncle and tail. With 190 known species, the Garra genus is one of the most diverse fish groups in the world. Although according to Page, their diversity is likely to have been drastically underestimated. Many of the fishes in mainland Southeast Asia are referred to by names given to species discovered in India or Indonesia because they look similar, he says, when in fact they may be completely different species. Vincetoxicum sangyojarniae, endemic to Thailand. In 2021, Pacharaporn Sangyojarn, a senior botanist at Rajamangala University of Technology Isan, came across an unknown climbing plant in a protected area on the university's Surin campus in eastern Thailand. At first glance, it looked like a type of Vincetoxicum flexuosum, a variable complex of species widespread from tropical and subtropical Asia to northern Australia. Like Vincetoxicum flexuosum, it has a slender, twining stem and branches, smooth leaves, and small red or reddish-brown flowers. But close examination revealed various differences, including distinctive pyramid-shaped flower buds. DNA tests threw up further surprises. Despite its similar appearance to Vincetoxicum flexuosum species, genetic analysis shows that it doesn't form a monophyletic clade with these species. In other words, while the other Thai Vincetoxicum flexuosum species share a common ancestor, this one does not. Instead, it appears to be a sister to 3 African Vincetoxicum species, raising interesting questions about the evolution and distribution of this complex genus. So far, Vincetoxicum sangyojarniae, named after the professor who discovered it, has only been recorded on the university campus, where about 20 to 30 mature individuals were found growing in an area of 1,500 square meters. Because of its rarity, it's been provisionally classified as endangered. Curcuma ubonesis, possibly also found in Laos. This new member of the ginger family was found growing in deciduous forest in Ubon Ratchathani province, Thailand. An attractive perennial herb, it has a leafy shoot 25 to 40 centimeters tall with small purple flowers. The rhizome or root stem has a mild aroma reminiscent of fresh mango. The latest discovery adds to the incredibly rich diversity of ginger plants in the country. Out of over 1,900 species and nearly 60 genera in the Zingiberaceae ginger family, Thailand is home to 29 accepted genera and over 400 species. This makes it an important location for studying the remarkable diversity and evolutionary patterns of this fascinating plant family. Within the ginger family, the Curcuma genus is one of the best known, encompassing numerous species that are highly valued for their medicinal, culinary, and ornamental properties. In the Isan language, Curcuma plants are known as krachiao, so this new species has been given the common name Krachiao ubon. While it is possible that this species is also found in Laos, it's so far only known from the location where it was discovered. Researchers recommend treating it as endangered and prioritizing efforts to conserve its habitat until its distribution and population status are better understood. Join us for the next and last part in this series as we travel to the country of Vietnam. We hope that you found this information interesting. If you did, Please consider liking and subscribing, it really helps the channel. Please come back for the next part and learn more about the new species discovered in Vietnam. We wish you a wonderful day.